All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Danny Lasoski, the driver out of Dover, Missouri, one of the best of all time when it comes to the World of Outlaws as well as just sprint car racing in general. A four-time Knoxville Nationals champion, a champion with the World of Outlaws. He has done just about everything you could think of in the world of sprint car racing, and it's going to be fun to talk about him here today on the channel and go through all of his years as a full-time driver, look at his overall stats as an outlaw, and then look at all of his achievements, his accolades, his championships, and things like that. Now, before we dive into it, I wanted to mention, in case anybody is really interested, I do have the ability to have channel members now at this point in time for this channel. Never really thought that I would get to this point on YouTube, as it was supposed to be just kind of a fun thing for me to do to pass the time between, the high limit racing events. But now it's gotten a pretty good amount of attention, and people are interested. So we've got channel memberships available starting at $2.99 if anybody is interested in that. I'm not sure why anybody would want to support me in that way to write on a whiteboard, but if you do feel as you would like to help out, I would definitely appreciate it. And we've got some different things on there that will benefit you as well for being a channel member. We're still working on those, but it's still early in the process. So wanted to mention that before we dive into Danny Lasoski. So let's do that right now. 1995 looks like was the first year for Danny Lasoski as a full-time World of Outlaws driver. He did have quite a few starts in the mid-90s. I want to say 93, 94. He had 53 starts one year. Another one he had 41. But it looked like 95. I could not figure out when his rookie season was because he did not win Rookie of the Year when he was out there. So I'm going to say 95 was the first one. He had 91 starts, 5 wins in his first full-time season, 41 top 5s, 76 top 10s, and he would finish 6th overall in the point standings in his rookie season. His owners that year, he split time between the Sonner number 47 car and the Al Hamilton 77. How many times has the Hamilton 77 popped up in these videos? We might need to keep track of that from now on. I want to say that's at least the 4th time we've seen that car on this whiteboard. 1997, he's back. In 96, he actually went and ran for the Knoxville Track Championship. And so in 1997, he comes back full-time for 77 starts, 0 wins, 14 top 5s, and 48 top 10s. He finishes 15th in the overall point standings. And I was reading an article while I was putting this board together where Danny Lasoski mentioned that this was the worst year of his career. Had 3 different car owners to get through that World of Outlaws season. He ran the Wally 1W, the Rock Motorsports 83, and the Black number 1Z. And that's the car owner, that's not the color of the car. The guy's name was Black for that 1Z. 1998, he's back full-time with Roth now. So after a little stint with Roth in 97, he goes full-time with them for a couple of years. In 1998, he has 86 starts, is able to get 4 wins, 45 top 5s, a nice 69 top 10s, and he finishes 5th overall in the point standings, so his best ever run in the championship standings in 1998. 1999, that does get better, though. He has 93 starts, an astonishing 16 victories in his 4th full-time year, 53 top 5s, 81 top 10 finishes, but it's not good enough to beat Mark Kinzer. He finishes 2nd in the point standings by 71 behind the Mopar number 5M car. Now in 2000, turn of the century, another good year for Danny Lasoski. 91 starts, 12 wins, 45 top 5s, and 68 top 10s, but slips back to 4th in the overall point standings. Once again, driving the Roth 83, but that would be his final year as the driver in that car full-time until later on in his career. In 2001, he gets the call from Tony Stewart to drive the TSR number 20 car. And he makes quick use of it, right? I mean, this car was fast right out of the gate. 94 starts, 8 wins, 49 top 5s, and 82 top 10s. He wins the championship his first year out with the Tony Stewart Racing number 20 car by 30 points over Mark Kinzer. So he does get revenge from 1999 over Mark Kinzer to win the championship. And I don't have 01 written in green because I feel like a couple years later, he really does have his best overall season with the Outlaws. 2002, 86 starts, 17 wins in 2002, 55 top 5s, and 72 top 10s. He finishes 2nd in points, however, with all those good numbers, and he is 334 points behind Steve Kinzer in the championship in 2002. Now, 2003 is the year that I have written in green. Overall, I think it is the best year of his career. 87 starts, 16 wins, 56 top fives, which is the most he's ever had, 76 top tens, which is a six less than his 2001 championship. He finishes second in the point standings. He's 141 points behind Steve Kinser that year. Now, in 2004, he finishes second in the points for the third straight year to Steve Kinser. 81 starts, 11 wins, 44 top fives, and 62 top tens. Like I said, second in points, this time 246 behind the Quaker State number 11. Now, in 2005, it is final year in the Tony Stewart Racing number 20 car, and you can see that the numbers do dip off a little bit, but it's still a pretty good season. 7 wins, 23 top fives, and 51 top tens. The points, though, he finishes way back in the 6th position after being second 3 years in a row. And so that draws the end of the TSR number 20. And he gets back in the Roth Motorsports number 83. But in 2006, he does go race full-time with the National Sprint Tour, the NST, that was around for 1 year. And he's able to win the championship with NST in 2006. NST folds. He comes back in 07, runs the Roth Motorsports 83. 76 starts, 6 wins, 27 top fives, and 48 top tens. He finishes third overall in the point standings, but apparently not good enough. He's not going to be returning to the Roth 83. In 2008, he goes back and runs Knoxville. And so in 2009, he wins the championship there in 08 at Knoxville. 2009, he comes back to run with the Outlaws and is driving the Parsons number 6, the Casey's General Store number 6 car. 64 starts, 5 wins, 24 top fives, 42 top tens. He finishes 6th in points. And then in 2010, it is his final year as a full-time World of Outlaws driver. Once again in the Parsons number 6, 67 starts, just 1 win, just 8 top fives, and just 34 top tens for 9th overall in the point standings. And that would be the end of his full-time driving career with the Outlaws. He would go on to win more championships in Knoxville and do a lot of really good things after that. But as a full-time Outlaw, it ends in 2010 driving the Parsons 6. His overall World of Outlaws stats, 1,546 career starts for 122 victories. Right now, that is 6th on the all-time wins list, and I don't see many guys passing him up. We talked about this, I believe, with either Joey Saldana or Darren Pittman, that I think really the only 2 guys that have a chance of getting into that 100 win mark right now, as it stands, is David Gravel and Brad Sweet. Those 2 still going strong and still winning races. But maybe Danny Lasoski might be safe there at 6th all-time for a very, very long time to come. 624 top 5 finishes for 40% of the time. When Danny Lasoski rolled into the pit area with the Outlaws, he was inside the top 5. And what's even crazier, 1,086 top 10s. At 70% of the time, he was inside the top 10. I mean, that is crazy stuff. I can't wait till we get to Sammy and Steve to see the numbers as far as the percentages go for the top 5 and the top 10. Those numbers are going to be absolutely bonkers for those guys. Now, looking at the accolades, I thought I was going to have to put this put this video in 2 different boards and put the accolades on a separate one, but then realized that Danny Lasoski really didn't have that many full-time years as a World of Outlaws driver. I can't really count off the top of my head, but maybe what's that, like a 14 or so years? I was able to fit that all in one column. And so then I tried to just keep this on one board, and the accolades, there was just so many of them. I had to erase it and make it into 2 different columns because there was just too much to talk about. So he's a 4-time Knoxville Nationals champion, and he is one of probably the best of all time at the Knoxville Raceway overall. He is a Knoxville 360 Nationals champion as well back in 1995. He won the 2000 running of the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, the Knoxville Nationals of Australia. He won that in 2000. He was the 2009 Silver Cup winner at Lernerville. 2005, he won the Front Row Challenge at Oskaloosa during the week of the Knoxville Nationals. He was second at the 2002 National Open and second at the 2002 Kings Royal. He's a 3-time second-place finisher at the Chili Bowl. So this guy not only was able to get the job done with the wings on in a midget, he also had 2 wins in a USAC sprint car. So Danny Lasoski, he was a good driver all over the place. A 5-time winner with the World of Outlaws Gun-Out Series. He's a 20-time winner between all of the different ASCS regions. He did have 9 against the National Tour. A 2-time National Sprint League champion, and those 2 championships occurred after his full-time career against the Outlaws. He was the 2006 NST champ, as we mentioned earlier on, a 37-time winner with the All-Star Circuit of Champions, an 11-time Knoxville Nationals champion, and those years of the championship are very wide range. I want to say the first one was back in like 1988 or 89, and then he would win the Knoxville championship well past 2010. I mean, this guy was a good driver for such a long time, and I talked to him maybe a year and a half ago at the racetrack, and he was kind of sounding like he wanted to get back in the car and get back to racing. We have not seen that happen yet. He was also a 3-time Houston Speedway track champion, a 2001 National Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductee, 112 Knoxville Raceway victories. He is the winningest driver in the history of Knoxville Raceway. He was the 2000 Gold Cup winner. So 2000 was a pretty good year to Danny Lasoski. And he has wins at 90-plus different racetracks across the country and across the world. He won in Australia on a couple of different of tracks. So, man, Danny Lasoski, wow, he had one hell of a career. And I knew it was good, but prior to doing the research to this video and seeing everything he was able to accomplish, it really puts it into perspective what he was able to do throughout his very, very long career. And he's still at the racetrack to this day helping guys out. We know he was the crew chief for Mason Daniel when he went full-time outlaw racing. He was the crew chief for Brian Brown here recently. He's been a crew chief for so many different guys and has helped a lot of guys find success in the world of sprint car racing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today on Danny Lasoski. If you're watching here on the YouTube channel, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. It is free. Hit the like button if you'd like. And let me know who you'd like to see next from the 2002 World of Outlaws video game. We're documenting the career of each driver that was on that game. Let me know who you'd like to see next down in the comment section below. And we'll be back here tomorrow for another video here on the YouTube channel.